So what do bifocals, bicycles, biceps, and binoculars all have in common with binomial? They have that prefix bi, which stands for 2. So at this point we should all know what a binomial looks like, and we are going to multiply one binomial by another binomial. So before you take out your notes, I'd like you just to watch this. This is not x squared plus 6. And it's not x squared plus 6 because the entire quantity x plus 3 is being multiplied by the entire quantity x plus 2. And so we really need to do distribution. So the first method, which is I think what most of you will find to be your preferred method, is just distribution. If you look at this little diagram here, what they're saying is I'm going to take x and I'm going to multiply x by everything in this second parentheses. Then I'm going to take 3 and I'm going to multiply 3 by everything in the second parentheses. And that way I've distributed this entire x plus 3 to both terms in the second quantity. So our final answer then is going to be, in the first case, where I'm multiplying just the x, the blue x, by the second term, I get x squared plus 2x. When I multiply all the red 3 by everything in this second term, I get 3x plus 6. And then I combine those middle terms, 2x and 3x, to get 5x plus 6. This is the distributive property method, and I think most of you will find that preferable. I'm going to just show you the other methods so that you have them. One is the grid method, and a lot of students when they first start like this method, because it's very visual, but it gets kind of cumbersome to do once we move along. But this might show some of you another reason that we do this. If I take x plus 2 and place that along my vertical axis and x plus 3 along my horizontal axis, I can then multiply everything by each other. So I multiply x by 2 and get 2x. I multiply 2 by 3 and get 6. I multiply x by x and I get x squared, and I multiply x by 3 and I get 3x. And then again, I'm going to end up with the same answer. When I learned to multiply binomials, they loved this, the FOIL method. And it's still around. FOIL stands for first, outer, inner, last. And what that's saying is we multiply both first terms together, both outer terms together, both inner terms together, and both last terms together. It's somewhat similar to distributive. So if we're looking at our notes, the key to binomial by binomial is distributing and distributing again, also known as FOIL. Multiply each of the following. So in the first example, I'm going to multiply x by x and get x squared. I then multiply x by 4 and get 4x. I then take the 7, multiply the 7 by x and get 7x, and the 7 by 4 and get 28. When I combine like terms for my final answer, I'm going to combine these and I get x squared plus 11x plus 28. Number 2, same process, just going to use a little bit of a different variable. We have a 3x multiplied by an x, which gives us 3x squared. A 3x times a 5 gives us 15x. I then take the negative 4 and multiply that by x, giving me negative 4x and negative 20. Notice how I took that negative. Very important. Combine like terms, and I get 3x squared plus 11x minus 20. At the bottom here, they show you the grid, which probably worthwhile to try it once. X times 2x, 2x squared. X times negative 4, notice that they took a negative 4 to put there. That's going to be negative 4x. 2x by 8 is going to give me 16x. Negative 4 by 8 is going to give me negative 32. I combine my like terms, and my final answer is 2x squared plus 12x minus 32. So you have 6 examples down at the bottom that I would like you to practice and come back and check your answers. Okie dokie, so I've shown you a little bit of work here in case you did not get the answers right, and hopefully most of you are fine with these. The one I would like to caution you about is number 6. That is probably one of the most commonly missed problems in high school math. Most students see y plus 8 quantity, we say when we do this, y plus 8 quantity squared, and they write y squared plus 64. That is not true. This actually means, when in doubt, write it out, y plus 8 times y plus 8. You've forgotten all about those middle terms if you do that. At this point, I think you're ready to practice, and I would like you to do, why don't we say the first 6 problems in the practice packet? Ends with a p minus 1 times a p plus 1. I have the answers that I will put up in a moment, and you can come back and check those. Okay, so I didn't show as much work on these, but hopefully you got most of them right. If any of them you missed and you don't see your mistake, feel free to bring it up, and we can talk about it as a class. We'll practice the rest later, so have a great night, everyone.